All right, we got another repackage, and this is for my main man. This is one of my favorite WWE superstars right now, Titus O'Neil. Now he's a little bit older, like he's about 38, so he's not like an up and coming guy. But I still think he has a lot of talent. Obviously, he's big and strong and all that, and he's actually better on the mic than a lot of people think, because he's pretty funny. But he is a member of Omega Sci-Fi. I'm sorry. And so when you hear the hoorah, 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 it's the little Q dogs. So anybody who's familiar with Greek, the whole Greek fraternity thing, you know what that's about, right? So he plays up to that already, but I think taking it even further and donning even more of the fraternity's colors would be good. Purple and gold. And I think changing his name from Titus O'Neil to Titus Omega would be even crazy. Now here we go. We're not done. We're not done. Let's take it even further and have him start his own faction called the Fraternity. Okay? Now, obviously, Dan Young will probably be in there early on, and maybe somebody else. I'm not sure. Now, I'm going to come right out and tell you, I am not a fan of always having the African American superstars get into a feud with other African American superstars to just kind of keep it always. I hate to see that always happen that way, but that's the way it seems to happen most times. That's a topic for another show. But I cannot resist this potentially being a feud. And here's how it could go. So basically, Titus is a pretty funny dude, right? I think that joining the fraternity, which anytime you join a fraternity, generally you have to pledge. To pledge, a lot of times people make you do goofy, crazy stuff. Can you imagine how funny some of the segments could be with Titus initiating new members, having them do certain things as part of pledging in? And then what if Titus wants to really, really go full heel, and one of the things he has his pledges do is attack someone who is obviously a face? Okay, but here, no, we're not done. We're not done. Now, Apollo Crews is one of the brightest, perhaps the brightest young star in NXT right now. All right, now by the time you see this, you never know. He may be called up already. But at the time of the recording of this, he was absolutely one of the brightest stars in NXT. Now, obviously, Apollo Crews is African American or of African descent. So, what if Titus Omega approaches Apollo Crews and says, hey man, and just takes for granted, oh, I know you want to be in a fraternity, this is what we'll have you do, we won't even have you pledge, you're just going to be a member of the fraternity, we're just going to let you in. But Apollo Crews turns him down, and he's looking at him like, no, I don't think you understand, man. I said we're going to make you a member of the fraternity. Nobody turns down the fraternity. But Apollo Crews says, man, with all due respect, I respect what you guys are doing, but I'm going to be my own man. And obviously Titus Omega takes that as a great insult, and then him and the rest of the fraternity start to wage war against Apollo Crews. So that could be a beautiful setup for a feud. It could put over Apollo Crews immediately from joining the WWE roster, and it would probably be the most interesting angle Titus O'Neil has ever had being in the WWE. I mean, it's a way for him to go from silly to serious, because we all know if you're going to reach your height in the WWE, it's only so high you can go when you're a comedic act. That's when you look at people like Santino Marella, Sandow, unless they do the repackage that I talked about with him, Heath Slater, those kind of guys, they run into a ceiling because their act is comedic. You got to take it serious if you're going to be, if you're ever going to reach, higher than that mid-card level. So I think this would be a dope angle. I would love to see what would happen. Look, to add even another layer to help put Titus over more as a heel, somebody like Cameron, I don't even know if she's still on payroll, but somebody like Cameron could approach and be like, you know what, I want to be a member. And he was like, hey, hold on. It's called a fraternity. not sorority, no women. So obviously that's going to draw the boos and everything like that. Further puts him over as a heel. It would be pretty dope. Now his moveset can pretty much stay the same. He doesn't need just some slight moveset changes just to be more of a more of a heel. But for the most part, he can stay where he is. But I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments, what do you think about this repackage? How does this one rank with the previous 4? If this is the first repackage that you've seen, absolutely check out that playlist. We got 4 that came before this. So I can't say I can. I've been rolling these out every 2 weeks, but I don't know. I'm gonna run out of people that needs to be repackaged. So we got to give us a little bit of time there and see what else we can come up with. But I do appreciate you watching. God bless. Peace.